Hello traders, everybody, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Yaroslav and together with Olymp Trade, we welcome you to a very special edition of trading the Zigzag indicator and trading channels and trend lines. So today we are going to go through a very powerful and very often overlooked indicator that is called the Zigzag. Now it may appear very simple, but I will teach you some little tips and tricks on how you can get more out of this indicator and how you can improve your trading, improve your bottom line, and get better results. So before I get too far ahead of myself, if you guys could in chat, please write how many months you have been trading. This is important, I'll tell you why, because I will then cater the webinar to your needs. The webinar will run about 30 minutes and I will try to keep it professional, quick, and easy to understand, but I need to know what kind of experience you guys have. So some of you guys in chat have already been going pretty strong. Gaming Ghost is a beginner. Islam Hassan has been trading 2 years now. That's quite a body of experience. We have a question. You lose money when you're a beginner? Yes, you do. Guys, you will lose money not only as a beginner, but even later on. So what you should do in order to minimize your risk, especially when you're a beginner, is of course trade with a demo account. Trade only with the demo account so that you can practice and learn from your mistakes. And trust me, your mistakes will be plentiful. You will make lots of mistakes, and a lot of them are, greed or fear. Those are the two emotions that we as traders struggle with all the time. But anyways, today's webinar is about the Zigzag indicator. So I'm looking through chat, seeing if I can, oh wow, 2 months, 1 year, 2 days. Hey, welcome. You came to the right place. If you're a beginner, you came to the right place. So I see that we have quite a big range of experience that you guys have. So one thing I will ask you guys is to not spam. One time is enough. If you have a question that you really want answered, you may spam it twice, but no more, guys. Try to keep the chat from being bogged down. And again, if you keep on spamming, I will have to ban or at least block your account for some time. So keep that in mind. So the Zigzag indicator. Oh, by the way, you guys, you know me. I love to give you free stuff. So what we're going to do is sometime during the webinar, I will tell you a secret way to get some free prizes from Olymp Trade. If you guys want to make some, get some free stuff, stick around, watch this webinar. Somewhere in the middle, I will tell you of a way that you can get some free stuff. Now, so because we have a lot of people with different experiences, I'm just going to go right into it and describe the Zigzag indicator. So have a look at the graph right here. This is what it looks like. Right away, some of you more, I guess, savvy investors, or some of you that really want to make some money in the markets, you will see that, hey, all of those points are really good buying and selling prices, right? I mean, if we sell every time that the market goes up here, then hey, we'll make it, because look, every time we're up here, you can sell and it'll be a good trade. The trade will work out for you. Not so fast, my friend. See what's happening on the right side of the graph. We actually don't get that opportunity to see when price will turn around. So this last line, it can move significantly. Imagine if we have a small correction here, like very small, something like this, and then it goes back up. Well, I want to tell you that yesterday, this is the daily graph, so actually a few days ago, this line ended right here. So that kind of eliminates the opportunity to call highs and lows when using this indicator. But that's all right. That's all right. I will teach you several ways to get several different signals from this graph, and including using other oscillators and using multiple versions of the Zigzag indicator. So what do we have when we look at it behind the hood or under the hood? We have some really strange words that you may have not heard before in your trading. We have the likes of depth, and we have the likes of deviation in percentages. Now, once I explain these to you, they will be very easy to understand. Depth is the amount of candles, the periods. So say we have 10 or 1 day, we can even drop down to the hourly graph. You guys can see that it works on the hourly graph as well. So basically, before the next zigzag is published, the next line is published, we have to wait a minimum of 10 periods. That means 10 hours have to pass. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now only 4 hours have passed. So there is no opportunity for the zigzag to draw a line down. Now the other parameter that we have is deviation in percentages. And that is another way to measure so that the zigzag indicator does not get too choppy. It measures the percentage change right here. So we are at 89.18 in terms of the CAD Japanese yen currency pair. When the deviation changes 5% from this price, then the indicator will have an opportunity to draw another line. And it works with the AND modifier. So the depth and the deviation must be met in order for the next leg to happen. So basically, if we're just moving sideways like this in the last few hours of the last trading day, we're not going to get another line. And see what happens when we minimize these parameters. The zigzag indicator becomes more and more sensitive, and it gives us more and more zags or zigs that it uses in the indicator. Now the standard is 5 and 10, and you guys will have to do a little bit of your own testing. Now in the currency market, 5 and 10 works wonders. Whenever I trade stocks, I drop down the deviation to 4% because stocks, they are a bit more range bound, and when they tend to trend, and they trend quite often, there's big trending lines like this. So there's a big line that we have like this. So 5 and 10 are good for stocks with a deviation of 4, and you can even drop down to 10 is actually a good number. I wouldn't drop down any lower. This is basically 2 business weeks. If you're using the daily graph and you're looking at the and you're using the zigzag indicator, it's basically 2 weeks of trading that you're looking for, and you're looking for a change in those patterns. Now, what are some ways that you can use this indicator? Well, one way, let's return back to the daily graph. One way is looking at it as levels of support and resistance. Now, if we didn't have this indicator, this right here would be a whole lot of noise. This is a dangerous place to trade. It's difficult to find entry points. And when you're trading something like this, right, if you catch tops and bottoms of the channel, then good for you. Obviously, you're a patient trader, and that's the way you should be looking to open trades. Guys, in the course of almost a year, there are really 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 really good trades. Let me repeat that. In the course of 3 quarters of almost a year, there's only 6 good trades. That should make you think about how much and how often you should be trading. But we are trying to find more trading positions. We're trying to make more money, and we use all sorts of little tricks and tips and tools to trade, and the zigzag indicator is one of those. So one thing that we do have with the zigzag indicator is very clearly understandable highs and lows. All right, so maybe this is not a good example. Let's change this to another currency, something that everybody uses. I personally don't like the euro dollar, so let's go ahead and trade the pound dollar. Pound dollar I love. It is a very cyclical currency. It moves very, very wave-like. So what do we have here? There's a few levels and a few things that I wanted to point out. The first thing that we see is higher highs. So this indicator allows us to very clearly and easily see levels that we're trading from. The levels that were previously resistance, notice how here, I guess this is kind of resistance, but as price was traveling up, it used this level as resistance. And then after it broke out, it started using the same level as support. This is one area of support, and then right here is the next area of support. Same thing we have to the top side. So if we were using so the same principle applies in reverse. If we are having a downtrend and price is moving lower, we break through the level, then we can use it as a level of resistance to sell from in the future. Again, right now, we are using these levels to buy from. Now, that's one way to use the indicator. Another way to use the indicator is to draw channels. This is the second topic of today's webinar, and we have the likes of a channel right here. You can use this kind of principle for any asset. It doesn't matter if you're trading gold, oil, any kind of commodity, to be honest with you, stocks, indices, they all use this principle of moving in channels and using levels of support and resistance. Now, we're going to drop down and do some sneaky things. So one thing that we see here, I want to make sure you guys understand this, is that we have this channel, and actually you can drop this channel down all the way from after the coronavirus. So imagine we don't see any of this. This is the coronavirus pandemic sell-off in all markets. And then we have a little bit of price determination. This is where we're trying to understand how much things are worth. And after the 2 points here, 1, 2, 1, 2, we now have a channel. From those 2 points, we draw our rays, and it's a ray, it goes in one direction and it goes indefinitely. And look how long this channel has worked. From these 2 points, 1, 2, 1, 2, this channel has worked for over a year. This was last April. Excuse me, May. We're in May. This is this May. 1 year, these 2 points have served us as a level of support, resistance, and this is why this webinar is so powerful. This is why you guys should be drawing these things. If we didn't have the zigzag indicator on the graph, would you be so certain? Would you really understand what's going on? And I have, by the way, you guys can click here in the market. There are some skins. I actually bought all of them. So here, the color theme. I find Inspire, the Inspire color theme, it was a gift during our last year. We had our anniversary, and you could have gotten this skin just from participating. You can also use Purple Haze. Purple Haze also works, but the zigzag indicator works, or it uses yellow, so it kind of matches with the candles. I don't like that, but the Inspire pattern looks really good, and I can really tell what's going on here. So what is happening with the pound dollar? Just again to give you an understanding of how to read the graph, we have this channel, and it goes as a from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. But you see these breakouts here, this breakout area here and here. This is a sign. This is a big clue you should watch out for to inherent strength within this asset. The British pound historically, pre-Brexit, was a very, very strong. So right now, guys, we're right here. You can kind of make out this gray line. We are at 139. So pre-Brexit, when is this? 2015. Pre-Brexit, the British pound was worth 171. So almost $2 to 1 pound sterling. Right now, we're at 139. You guys can imagine that if the British government creates some, sneaky trade deals with the rest of the world, the British pound will return to its former glory, will return to some strength. At least it will cover some ground. So that's kind of the fundamental background you should be aware of. And the second, if you're just a technical trader, then what the price does is very important to you. And right here, this one breakout to the top, two breakout to the top, is a sign of inherent strength And what could happen in a little bit of time to come is that we then trade above here. We will be trading above this line here, and we'll have more strength to the upside. So watch out for the British pound. It is a very strong currency. Now, another way to be using the zigzag, let me add a few zigzags, guys. This is more of a, so it only allows me to add 2 zigzags at the same time, but that's okay. So I have, you can change the depth to something like 30. Change this to a color that we can really see on the graph. So maybe dark blue, dark green. So what this, let me get rid of these trend lines for a sec just so that I can show you guys something. Increasing the parameter of the depth of the amount of periods that we calculate allows you to really see wave patterns more broadly. Now, another way to use the zigzag indicator is to measure Elliott waves. That's going to be a whole nother topic. Elliott waves are very complex for me to explain to you guys. But basically, Elliott waves mean that we have 3 waves that go up and then 3 smaller waves that correct. And so in this example, let's get rid of this. In this example, we have 1 leg up, small correction, 2 leg up, small correction. That's right. This is why I'm showing you the British pound US dollar. I'm waiting for the 3rd leg up for the British pound. And right now we have just finished the correction. Another way of using tools and channels is to draw a trend line through the correction. So you can draw it here or you can draw it here. Because we're using zigzags, let's go ahead and use the zigzag indicator. Excuse me. We have a breakout of this zag to the top side. And so you can draw another trend line right here. And when price breaks out above this level, yes, you should buy. Now there's a few entry points that you can take. When you're trading this, let's go to FTT. Let me refresh my platform. So whenever you guys have like an issue like that with the browser, it's usually an issue of the browser. So all you need to do is refresh your page. Don't panic, nothing's wrong with the platform. So what you can do is, here we have a breakout. Let's go ahead and drop down to the hourly graph. So we know that this is the level that we're looking at, and look at this. Price is getting tightly coiled and it's coming to the top of that area. When we do have a breakout to the top, you guys can go ahead and slap on a 2-hour and 30-minute trade to the top side. The breakout on the hourly graph will last usually about 1 to 2 hours in majority of the cases. So you can use FTT as a way to trade. Another way that you can do it is set up a pending order. See this little clock button? The clock button allows you to set up a pending order, and you can tell what a pending order is right here. See how we have all these little icons that you can click on? They're there to give you an understanding of what each thing does. And so a pending order is basically an order that you can place in the future and have it activate either by time or by price. And so here we can set up the price. You measure it just by mousing over the area, and see right here on the right side of the graph, I have an icon with how much. And basically we're looking for a breakout at around 139.44. So 139.44. Now guys, I'm going to open up a live trade. You can do this with me. This is going to be an FTT trade. And I want to make sure that the rate of return is at least 80, or else I don't want to be in the trade. So you guys can see right now the pound dollar is giving us an ROI of 82. I want at least 80. So if we have, say, a drop in the rate of return, I don't want to be in that trade. All right, so I'm setting it up, and now it's loaded. It's loaded in the clip. And now what I need to do is determine whether I'm buying or selling from that price. I have the duration. I have the trade amount. I'm going to go ahead and set up, the maximum amount, excuse me, 2,000. No! That's a bummer. Oh no. All right, let's cross our fingers. So what happened here? I set up the pending order. 39.44. And oops, 39.44. Set it up. When the price was activated, the trade amount was too large. I trade Forex. My trade amount was too large. But it looks like price is going in our favor. So we're going to let this trade sit with us. Right now the trade is in profit. And so again, we're a little bit preemptively, but it's a good thing because we're expecting the British pound to rise anyway. And so in 2.5 hours, we should remain above that level. And also a CAD yen. I opened up a trade for the CAD yen. Notice how we are also in a leg up. We're already in a leg up. This is what one leg looks like. So this is the start of a new market cycle. Again, we are at a correction. We had a breakout to the top, and this breakout was quite significant. So after another correction, we are continuing going up. And I actually opened this trade on a smaller time frame. Actually, no, it was on the 1 hour. I was trading this asset yesterday, and this was kind of the level that if we broke out today, I wanted to trade. We did. We had a breakout and then a correction. I missed these few hours of trading, but that's all right. So I'm in the CAD Japanese yen trade as well. So that's another way of using the zigzag indicator. You can use two overlapping indicators to give you an idea of short-term market movement and then long-term impulses and where we are in a market cycle. Now again, what are the market cycles? This is for you beginners, just for you guys. Really quickly, we have 3 market cycles, right? One market cycle is a bull trend. Then from here, we have a consolidation. And then from here, we have either a downtrend or continuation of the uptrend. So all in all, this is exactly what you guys should be looking for. So one trend is right here. This is an uptrend. Then we have this consolidation right here. This is another, excuse me, not trend, market cycle. These are market cycles. And then the last market cycle, again, it could have been an uptrend, it could have been a downtrend. But then here we have another market cycle, which is up. And this is what you'll usually see in most scenarios, is an uptrend, consolidation with a little bit of a downtrend, and then another uptrend again. So you can kind of see that this area right here, this downtrend, in and of itself is a market cycle. So that's exactly what we have, the zigzag indicator, that's exactly what it shows us, is these market cycles. You see how it starts getting jittery and shows us a lot of signals? Hey, that's the consolidation, that's the flat. And there are strategies that allow you to trade the flat, and notice how well the zigzag indicator allows you to see those levels. That's why I recommend using the zigzag indicator. If you don't have a trend indicator on your graph, like myself, I use moving averages and Bollinger Bands, so the addition of a zigzag clouds my vision. But for beginners, it's a very good tool that allows you to see, and you can use these as levels of support and resistance. You can place your stop losses below the zigzag level. Unfortunately, the market is very spontaneous, and there are times where, say, if you put your stop loss right here for an uptrend, your stop loss would have gotten caught out right away. So one rule that I use is to add a pillow of about 25% of the initial risk to reward ratio, another 25% to my stop loss. Excuse me. That significantly lowers the amount of stop losses I get hit. So let's check out our trades. Our trades are doing well. The British pound is traveling higher. Again, we caught it right at the bottom of this channel. Like, wow, guys, look at this. There are the odd candles here and there that could knock us out. Anyways, this was a trade that was more a mistake than anything else. Again, if it goes in our favor, then let's have, hey, prizes. Let's give out prizes to you guys. That's what we're doing. So how can you guys get free stuff from Olymp Trade? Well, all you got to do is go, not go, but at the bottom of today's webinar, here and there, that could knock us. At the bottom of today's webinar, after it finishes, not right now, but after it finishes, so this is me, this is today, what we're talking about today. Right here at the bottom, there will be an opportunity for you guys to leave your comments. Go ahead and leave your comments, because tomorrow, the lovely Angie will be having a webinar, and she will give you guys free stuff. 3 of you guys will be the super lucky winners that will get risk-free trades, and you will get them on your account. So what you need to do is leave a question or a comment or a concern, and then at the end of your message, leave your account number. Your account number is right here. You can click on your name and then click the account ID. It will copy, and then you can send that into the comment section. Again, don't leave it in chat right now, but you can use it in the comments section below. Now, one other thing that I want to leave before we finish up the webinar is any kind of oscillator will help you use this indicator. And what do I mean? Ooh, price is dropping. Oof. What do we have here? We have the oscillators. Any of them will work. So going back to the CAD yen. The reason I'm looking at the CAD yen is the Canadian dollar is one of the more stronger currencies in the currency market, and the Japanese yen is one of the more weaker currencies in the currency market. So if we go to the daily graph, get rid of this trend line. So what I'm trying to show you guys is how can we trade in a consolidation using the zigzag pattern. Well, open up our I personally like to use the CCI. Hey guys, let me know what kind of oscillator you use. Really quick, we're wrapping up the webinar. Any of your questions, I'm not going to be answering any questions right now, but leave them in the comments section, guys. Any question that you asked in chat right now that I did not answer, after the webinar is finished in about 5 minutes, put it in the comments section and I will answer it right after the video. So I will sit and physically answer all of your questions. Go ahead and leave your comments, all right, and your questions. So what kind of oscillator do you guys use? Any one of these oscillators, which one do you use? Ooh, that's a good idea. So Michael George is saying, what about replacing bonuses by risk-free trades when we level up? That's a really good idea. I'm actually going to pass that on to our support. So yeah, using zigzags, getting more than $1,000 real profit. Pierre's, congratulations to you, man. Good job. Absolutely. So Madhan Grace, is there any study material available to master indicators? Yeah, there's a lot. On this YouTube channel, also you can click at the bottom on our channel name, Olymp Trade Global. There's a whole entire playlist that's dedicated to the indicators. I personally have dissected some of them where I give a PowerPoint presentation on who created them, when, why it's used, what assets it's used for. So some really in-depth stuff, and I give some live examples. So go ahead and check that out. So we have stochastic oscillator. Let's go ahead and use that. So perfect. What do we have here? So we're using the stochastic to confirm a turnaround here. So you see how it's this. If we're starting and looking at the right side of the graph, right here, guys, this is what we're looking for. Actually, I'm going to move it to the center. So we're looking at this because my head is blocking it. So we have a top right here. This big old line on the zigzag happened, and then we have this huge wave on the stochastic oscillator. Right at the peak, and right at this peak, when this starts to go down and then crosses this line, or when the stochastic oscillator crosses. If you guys use it, you know that when the two lines cross, that's a trade signal. And basically, that's what we have here. So we have the top of the indicator here and a trade signal here. This is a good sell signal. Right here, we have this bottom, but the stochastic oscillator did not reach at the same level, so we ignore it. This is not a trade signal. We do not use it. Next, we have this top right here. Again, stochastic oscillator. You could work on the crossovers that I said, but it's very, very short term. So if you're trading very short term, and you're looking for specifically fixed time trades of a period about 1 hour to 2 hours. Let's look at the other extremum. So here we have the bottom of this channel here, and then we have a breakout of here. So now it's oversold. This asset is oversold. Once it corrects back up into the middle, it was a good buy signal. So a good buy signal here. Let's look at the next signal. Next signal was right here. Lots of chop, but it did break out to the top and then came back down. So you can take that. So again, what we're looking for are trade signals is a breakout to the bottom. Right here we have a really good signal. So we have a bottom right here and a breakout to the bottom right there. So how the indicator would look like, it would look like this line right here. If say we don't see anything, you will see this line appear. And then once the line appears, this one right here, and then we have a breakout to the bottom, price is overextended, it's either overbought or oversold, then it goes back up. This is important. Wait for that return back up. So we have this, so we're looking at this area right here. We have this return back up into working territory. Price is moving up. We're breaking these highs right here. These highs got broken. So on around these two candles right here, it is a buy signal. All right, let's have a look at this area. We have this little next high that gets posted, and the stochastic oscillator is overbought now. Now it's overbought. You can sell this asset when it drops back down here, so around these two candles would have been a good sell. And remember, if we use the zigzag to put our stop losses, this is for Forex trading, your stop loss would be right here, plus 25% would be right here. That's a good trade, really good trade. So that's kind of the last and final way to trade within a consolidation, because the market spends a lot of time in consolidation. Like I showed you, it could be a year, and we need to make money. We need to earn to feed our families, to go on vacations, to buy cars. This is why you should use the zigzag combined together with an oscillator. It can give you some really good trading signals. All right, guys, that's it for today. You have learned a lot. Go ahead and leave a like. It will help other people understand and learn from this video. You can sign up to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page right there. And together with Olymp Trade, you guys, I wish you guys good luck trading. My name has been Yaroslav, and see you guys next time. Peace.